the biggest elephant in the room here, there was this gentleman here in Cape Town, Mr. J.P. Smith, who acts like some Zorro here, some TV character Zorro. Like, what does this stand to benefit? Lives are lost, property is damaged, the economy of the city and the province is affected simply because someone wants to sample with some bylaw. And even on the text they send out, co-signed by Mr. Quintas and Mr. McKenzie, where it says they will, and the city would release some of the impounded vehicles that were in an impound or in the pound for what they refer to as minor transgressions. Do we really have to lose lives, lose jobs because some gentlemen want to sample with some bylaw?
But Ndithini, the bylaws aside, we cannot excuse that whenever that there is a taxi protest, demonstration, stay away, it is also connected to violence, it's connected to people being hurt, it's connected to buses being torched. We cannot excuse that, and it's more than a coincidence.
But Lester, that's fine. That's a narrative that is fed by the 1.2 billion that Golden Arrow gets as a subsidy. The problem was we must ask, you are correct, as a matter of fact, I agree with you there. Yeah? But we must also ask ourselves this other question. Why is it that this industry is not formalized? Why is it that these people are not subsidized so that, look, you remember I was in your show, ne? Again talking on the issue of the blue dot that the provincial government used during COVID, wherein the driver fitness was tested, the vehicles were clearly marked for people to report bad and negligent driving, but simply because somebody said we have no budget to further this, but you also kill it with all its elements to protect the consumer and the commuter. Now you come back some months later and create new bylaws. Now the issue here, Lester, is not about what I'm not excusing violence, my brother. The people I lead and the people I lead are to suffer today, are not going to go to work. We are in constant communication with Santaco, and I can tell you now, there is genuinity yesterday, let me tell you something. Yesterday at about 5 o'clock, when they were at Mackenzie's office, they were harassed. Their security details was simply harassed. Then the entire negotiation that would have saved lives was collapsed.
But Ndithini, you're right. The Blue Dot program was successful. It helped change driver behavior, and it's disappointing that the provincial government did not continue with that program. But right now, we need adults in the room. We need adults in the state, and we need adults in the taxi industry, because people's lives and livelihoods are being lost this morning. It needs sober heads. And at the moment, Santaco and the taxi industry is not painting themselves in a very good light. They're losing public support, especially when people's lives and livelihoods are at risk this morning because of just one part, one element. And both sides need cool heads to prevail. But we have one side that can say, our members stay at home. This is a stay away. We don't put our vehicles on the road. We simply stay at home. But in the absence of that, we have people torching buses. We have people blockading roads. We have people who are fearing that whether they will not get to work today or not.
True. I agree with you, my brother. But you see these things that I'm worried about, that the powerful narrative that has been peddled here. No? The question that I tried to ask was, my brother, Golden Arrow buses at a very non-violent day, they ferry about 240,000 people, no? and they get subsidy of more than R1 billion. These people that we're referring to, the taxis, there's a narrative that is peddled here that these people are extortionists, are criminal, are people with criminal intent. But their protest, I can tell you, their protest is now having been infiltrated by criminal element. A shopping center inside my brother Lester, is not on the road. It does not have an operating license as a taxi. Some criminal decided to touch private cars, private cars with people inside. I spoke very specifically with the leader, with the chairperson of Santaco on these issues. I know as a matter of fact that this strike now if you look at the intensity of the
So
violence
Nditini,
against
just to summarize what you're going to say is that while this is a taxi protest, you have other elements who are taking advantage. That's what your claim is.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Nditini Tiodo is of the Khayelitsha Development Forum.